Hi, I'm Dana Obleman. This video is part of my free sleep course for kids 25 months and up right here on YouTube. If you could use some more guidance and check out Sleep Sounds Plus, the link is in the description below. Good morning, welcome back. I hope you saw a little bit of progress in your third night in, and if not, again, totally normal and not to worry, it's going to show up in the next few nights. So tonight we're going to transition into bedtime number 4, and this is a bit of a switch because we're going to move our chair to the middle of the room. And this can be, especially for older children, this can be a little bit of a setback, a little bit of a regression night, and it usually shows up with lots of requests for you to move back, right? They're not comfortable with the fact that you've moved your chair to the middle of the room and they would like you to move it back. And we really can't do that. The way that this is designed is to move slow enough that it's as gentle as it possibly can be for our children, but also to move fast enough that they don't get too hooked on the idea of you being in a particular spot for too long. So 3 nights is our rule of thumb here for moving out of this bedroom. Our ultimate goal is for our children to be able to fall asleep independently without anyone being there, to be 100% confident in their own skills for getting themselves to sleep every night with no upset, no drama, no reason to fight. They just happily go to bed on their own. That's what we're shooting for here. That's our dream come true day when that arrives, and it really will. It's just getting there that can be the hard part. So if you feel nervous about moving away tonight, it might be because you've been doing a little bit too much helping so far. And that usually looks like hand holding or rubbing a forehead or stroking a back or patting an arm. Some sort of touch is often incorporated here. So now that we're moving our chair to the middle of the room, touch is going to be a lot harder. And I really want to encourage you to stay in your chair at this point. If you've been helping too much, that's actually not helping, right? It's actually slowing the process down because she's not becoming confident with her own skills. She's still somehow incorporating you into her strategies for sleep. So she might request it or might ask you to move back. To all of that, you will say, no, I'm going to stay in my chair. If she won't stop, right, we have to talk about the consequence again. If she will not stop asking you to move back or asking you to touch her, you give one warning. You'll have to lay and be quiet or I have to leave. And then you get up and you leave the room for the same little strategy of longer and longer increments of time every time you have to leave. And that'll nip that in the bud pretty quickly, and she'll realize, well, you've moved. It's not the end of the world. I preferred it when you were closer, but now you're not, and that's okay. And that's what we want. So keep moving with the plan. Hang in there. For any nighttime wake-ups tonight, we're going to handle it the same way. We're going to sit in our chair in the middle of the room and consequence any uncooperative behavior. If you haven't seen a huge improvement yet in the nighttime wake-ups, that's fairly normal for this age group. It's almost like it's a short-term consequence to have a little increase in nighttime waking initially. And that's because they're not comfortable yet with their own skills. They're getting kind of used to you not being in the bed with them, but they still are hooked on this idea that you're present, that you stay in your chair. So they could wake up frequently in the night, notice you're not in your chair anymore, and want you to come in and sit in the chair. I know it's hard. I know I'm asking a lot by potentially making you more tired, but hang in there because this will turn its corner. It really will. As she gets more comfortable being independent with her skills, she'll rely less on you being there, and this will get better. But for now, it's just where we are. All right, good luck tonight. See you in the morning.